Hey everybody, I'm Joe with Grumbacher, and today we're going to go over some napkin dips, or some people call them reverse dips. I'm calling them sheet dips because I'm using different types of sheets of different types of material to try and get different effects. You can see what we're using today. I have here a sheet of Grumbacher watercolor paper. I also have bubble wrap, just another varied texture that we're going to try out today. And then I have another form of kind of a foamy plastic that I'm going to use today to see what that does with this type of technique. For our colors, we're using Grumbacher Academy acrylics. I have them pre-mixed with Grumbacher Pour44. I have Process Yellow, Process Magenta, Process Cyan, Mars Black, and Titanium White. As I just mentioned, we're using Pour44 as we do in all of our pour videos. Pour44 is by Grumbacher, and it's one of the only pouring mediums out on the market that is AP non-toxic, and it's also derived of all fine art materials, so you know it's really archival and it's gonna last for a really long time. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is get our base color down onto our canvas and give us a nice fluid coat to work with. As you can see, we have our canvas taped and pinned, which has made it a lot easier to do all of this tilting without disturbing the nice smooth surface. All right, so we have our colors poured out into some plastic cups so that we have a little bit more control when we're putting them down onto the canvas. And at this point, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with a clean pour, a puddle pour. So we haven't mixed any of the colors together or anything like that. We're just gonna alternate and pour them onto the canvas, starting in the center and kind of working our way out. We're gonna take one of the materials that we've chosen and we're gonna lay that material over the top of our paint. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna press down just enough to kind of get it spread out, and then we'll slowly peel the sheet off, and the stickiness between the sheet and the paint is gonna pull the colors off the canvas a little bit, and in that process we're gonna mix these colors that we have in hopefully a beautiful, unique way. It's time to maybe peel it off. The way I'm going to do this is grab two edges, and you can do it any way you want, but I'm going to try and do it evenly from two sides and pull it off. All right, so we've got our canvas for our next attempt at our sheet dip, all covered with our base coat of white. I'm going to lay down some colors now, and then we'll lay over our bubble wrap to see what we get as a result. What we can do when we're lifting it off is actually give it a little twist as we're coming up, and that'll help kind of swirl the colors on the canvas as we're lifting off there. I have this lovely sounding piece of foam that I'm going to use to impart my texture on this trial. You know, I'm actually not liking this little glob, so I'm going to probably regret this, but I'm gonna do something kind of crazy. I'm gonna re-dip, double dip. All right, so now we have our paintings. They've had a day or two to dry, and we have our finished results. So here we have the bubble wrap. You can see we got some interesting bubble effects, ironically enough, from our sheet dip using the bubble wrap. On this one we used the watercolor paper, and that one kind of ended up turning out to look like a very nice dirty pour with some nice kind of geode looking rings happening on the edge there. You see it again over in our final result, which we dipped a foam sheet into. We also poured this one a little differently. That's kind of why the composition is slightly different than the others. But personally, it's hard to choose between these three, but I think this one is my favorite. Hope you guys have some time to throw some comments down below. I'm Joe with Grumbacher. Thanks for watching.